Ladies and gentlemen, I regret to inform you that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is gay. Now, I already know what you're gonna say.
It's optional. Why do you care, incel? Let people enjoy things.
No. Actually, I won't. And while this may be some optional content in the game, this is a problem. And if you buy this game, you're kind of part of the problem too. I'll explain. The first Kingdom Come Deliverance came out in 2018 by a small studio named Warhorse Games, led by this guy, Daniel whatever. And the game did pretty good. People enjoyed the realistic approach to the open world medieval RPG, and the dedication to historical accuracy, coupled with the lack of forced diversity and inclusion, felt refreshing in a time, well, this was going on. Ugh. The devs doubled down and reassured gamers, stating that they wouldn't force diversity in a game where it wouldn't make sense, and they earned a lot of goodwill in the process because at the end of the day, gamers just want a good game to play without being sold some ideology or agenda. Gamers just want to have fun and get immersed in a world where they feel like they belong. Which is why Kingdom Come 2 is such a weird story to talk about. In the sequel to the critically acclaimed game, they've decided seemingly out of nowhere that the main character is now a bisexual. And now you can romance your in-game best friend, Hans. What the fuck? What happened? In the first game, you played as Henry, a white Christian son of a blacksmith who set out on a quest to avenge his family. There's no customizing Henry's looks, his face, his name, nothing. You are Henry, in the same way that you take the role of Geralt in the Witcher series. Now, like any good RPG, you have some freedom to play Henry as you wish. There are choices to be made, which will have an impact on the story and the world. And you can choose how you'd like to take the role of Henry, whether he focuses on ranged or close quarter combat, but at the end of the day, you're still Henry, a white, heterosexual Christian man in the Holy Roman Empire in the year 1403. This is why this optional gay romance is a problem. I originally had the game pre-ordered. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't terribly excited for the game because I didn't really enjoy the first one all that much, but again, gaming kind of sucks right now. There's really nothing new to play. So I figured I'd give it a chance and, maybe it would improve on the things that I didn't like about the first one and at the very least fill the void until something a little bit more interesting came out. But once I saw the news of the gay romance in the game, I canceled my pre-order immediately. Cue the sound of screeching nerds yelling at me in the background. I didn't want to play as some bi-curious sexual deviant in the 1400s because it doesn't make any sense. And it feels completely forced. I mean, you can argue that it's optional and that I don't have to make Henry gay, but why is it in the game at all? The developers had stated very clearly that Henry was a heterosexual previously, so why the change now? Sure, I've played games like Cyberpunk and Mass Effect and a few other RPGs where there are optional gay romances or, in the case of Cyberpunk, optional everything. But those didn't really bother me nearly as much as something like Kingdom Come, where the hook of the game is the historical accuracy and the attention to detail. I didn't mind having gay stuff in a game like Mass Effect or Cyberpunk because honestly, let's be honest, Cyberpunk is a total dystopian future, and this seems like the worse that things get, the gayer they become. Although admittedly, if I could, I would remove the gay romances from those games too. This decision to make Henry bisexual feels forced and unnecessary. A betrayal of the character and the spirit of the first game, and an act of capitulation to capture an audience of people who called the first game racist because there weren't enough black people in 1400 Bohemia. So, I'm not so sensitive that I can't handle ideals or values that I disagree with in a piece of entertainment. I watch stuff all of the time that doesn't align with my moral values, but this felt different. This whole story reeked of an ugly, blue-haired head of a I'm gonna leave that in. Fuck it. This whole this whole story reeked of the ugly blue-haired head of DEI rearing its head and claiming another victim. And I was right. I wasn't the only one disturbed by this story, thankfully. By the way, thanks for helping me ratio IGN twice, by the way. Kind of a bucket list thing for me. People began to look into Warhorse and its parent companies like the Embracer Group, and sure enough, the Embracer Group is yet another company in a long line of shady holding companies that are twisting and subverting games to make them less white, less male, and less heterosexual. Much like BlackRock and its social credit score for transgendered black lesbian protagonists in video games, Embracer Group is pushing for more diversity and inclusion in gaming. What a surprise. Which means pushing people out like you and me to make room for people who look like they spend $2,000 a month on therapy. This is a common trend in gaming, which we can all see, and while Kingdom Come 2 isn't as egregious as games like Dragon Age Veilguard or Concord, it's still a big problem. Sure, you can write it off as an optional side quest that you don't have to complete. You can close your eyes and pretend that the entire time you play Kingdom Come 2 you're not some bisexual deviant who would get arrested or worse in the 1400s Holy Roman Empire. But to continue to ignore this problem because you're desperate for a game to play is only going to lead to worse problems in the industry, and we have enough as it is. I mean, games are just dog shit right now. It's disappointing that this is happening, and honestly, I feel really sorry for guys who are really excited to play this game. I get it. It sucks. I know a lot of people who loved the first Kingdom Come, and they were super stoked for Kingdom Come 2. People in my Kick chat have been bugging me and pestering me for months to stream this game because they were really excited to see me experience this world for the first time. But unfortunately, we have to put our foot down somewhere, or else Kingdom Come 3 is going to have Henry getting his nose pierced like a girl who writes erotic fan fiction on Tumblr and becoming the world's first pansexual furry. I'm tired of every game that I play pushing sort of a lifestyle or agenda on me, and I don't think it's a lot to ask to not have this kind of stuff in a realistic medieval RPG set in a world where this sort of behavior was far from common and downright illegal. The problem is these companies continue to try to push out gamers like you and me. We are in a market share that quite frankly just isn't growing. Meanwhile, more women, more homosexuals, more minorities are getting into gaming, which means big bucks for the big games industry. They don't care about us because they know that we're slaves and we'll just continue to buy this slop regardless. And the worst part about this is seeing gamers defend it. I'm so tired of this attitude that we're just supposed to sit down, shut up, and give these people our money while they shit all over us. People are upset because I refuse to waddle up to the trough and consume like a good little pig that the industry wants me to be. If I'm being honest, this entire debacle wouldn't be as much of an issue if the entire video game industry wasn't forcing this stuff down our throats, and it is the entire video games industry. I mean, look at the new Ghost of Tsushima sequel, with some shaved-haired lesbian as the main protagonist instead of the awesome character that we had in the first game. Look at Overwatch. It seems like half the roster now is some sort of pansexual, bisexual, homosexual. There's probably less straight characters in that game than anybody. Look at World of Warcraft, which I had to put down in Dragonflight because they forced me to go get a present for some guy's gay husband. Look at almost every AAA game, and you can see these ideologies and lifestyle choices being injected into everything. This isn't an isolated issue, and the quality of games overall is suffering because of it. If I didn't love video games as much as I do, I'd honestly probably pick up another hobby like golf or something, because it seems like everywhere you turn, things are just getting worse and worse, and everyone is too afraid to say anything about it or too brainwashed and addicted to video games to care. At least on the golf course, I don't have to worry about my caddy trying to give me a gay kiss against my will. Well, maybe. I am a good-looking guy, so don't want to rule anything out, but the industry has created an army of slaves willing to consume the next product regardless of its quality or its message. Now look, I'm sure that Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a good game. Despite the flaws and the lifestyle choices that were sloppily forced into the game, I'm sure that if I just gave them my money, ignored the gay romance section, and pretended that Henry was a straight Christian male on a mission from God, that I would have a great time. But I'm not going to give these people my hard-earned cash or my time while they actively try to court people who don't care about games like this. Women aren't playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Gay people aren't playing these games. The target demographic for a game like this is people like me, white, Catholic, Christian men who want to LARP and roleplay that were crusaders from the year 1400. Now is the time for people like you and me to send a message to Warhorse Studios and any other game developers out there that think injecting this crap into every game is going to benefit them. We have to take a stand and stop rewarding these people for disrespecting our intelligence and our values. If we want to reclaim our hobby from people who despise us and want us to leave, then we have to be bold and stop allowing them to walk all over us. So what I'm saying is, please, stop buying games like Kingdom Come 2 and buy yourself a PlayStation 2 or a PlayStation 3 like I did. Seriously, that's what I did. My disk drive went out in my original slimline model, so I went and got me a fat boy. We have to stop this somewhere, though. And I know it sucks to not have anything, especially with the release schedule that we've had the past few months. Again, I go to the Xbox or PlayStation store and I'm desperate to give these people my money and I just come up short every single time, but we have to put our foot down somewhere. We have to make our voices heard. We are tired of all of this crap being injected into games. And I seriously, dude, it's everywhere. I can't even boot up Netflix without seeing two guys kissing. I'm sick of it. Dude, I'm tired of it. Can I please have something without two guys kissing in it? Thank you for coming to my talk. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Don't buy Kingdom Come 2. I'm sure it's gonna sell 1 million copies and all this is in vain, but I don't care. I'm tired of seeing guys kissing. Okay, bye. Love you. God bless. Bye.